Holy Thursday. It's my favorite day of the year. I like it even more than Christmas, some might say. For me, looking at that great day in the history of the church, in the sacred scriptures, is a pivotal moment for the priesthood. That was the day at the Last Supper when Jesus was with his friends, the disciples, and he took the bread and he said, "Take this, all of you, and eat of it, for this is my body, which will be given up for you." He took the chalice, said, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it, for this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me." Is that memory which has transformed the life of the church, which has transformed my life. You see, on Holy Thursday, when I was in 7th grade, I served Mass that evening. One of the most beautiful Masses I remember from my entire life. Seeing all the priests up on the altar, really entering deeply into the mystery of the Holy Eucharist. That became my favorite day as a kid. And one day a wise priest really pointed out to me the significance of Holy Thursday. He said, "That's the day the priesthood was established." From that moment on, that Holy Thursday when I was in 7th grade, I looked at the Mass in a different way. I approached prayer differently, altar serving differently. I really started thinking about becoming a priest. I went through high school, went to college. For a little while, was a little distracted, thought of going into other things, like teaching math or computer science. But Holy Thursday kept calling me back. So one day, when I was in college, I attended the Chrism Mass at St. Agnes Cathedral. A very beautiful Mass. All the priests of the diocese come into the cathedral. They renew their priestly commitment. And at the beginning of that Mass, I saw the seminarians process in. And I felt something inside me tell me, you should have been there with them this year. And so, from that point on, I said, I gotta get things into motion. I started thinking about entering the seminary and applying. And I have to say, from that moment on, I've never looked back. This experience of entering into the Mass, entering deeper into prayer, the mystery of the Holy Eucharist, I think that's at the purpose of our existence. It's right there. That our God loves us so much that He gave Himself for us, His body and blood, offered it on the cross, rose from the dead. That is what priests are called to do, to offer of themselves, offer sacrifice to God, to pray for the people, to pray with the people, to be there with them in the different moments of the life, and to enter more deeply into the mystery. You see, and whenever we pray the Mass on Holy Thursday, whether it be Thursday of the 17th week in Ordinary Time, the first Sunday of Advent, Christmas, the Easter Vigil, we go back to that moment and we enter into something even bigger than ourselves. When I say those words that I'm so humbled and privileged to say, which I never could ever take for granted, I realize those words are not my own. I realize that there, when I'm praying the Mass, that I'm there with all the priests throughout time, all the angels and saints, united with all the Masses of the past, present, and future. What an incredible moment that is. And so, As we give thanks to God for the Holy Eucharist, we also give thanks to God for the priesthood. Also pray for more vocations. You ever find yourself wondering, am I called to the priesthood? Think about your participation at the Mass. Pour your heart and soul into it. Spend time in prayer every day. Conversation with God. Get close with Our Lady. Pray the Rosary. And just trust. Trust that whatever God has planned for you from the beginning of time, that if you put your life in His hands, that He will bring it to fulfillment. And so I look back to the year I was ordained a priest, the year 2015, and I saw Holy Thursday again, right there in the center. I've looked forward to that day so much that year. That day, not only was I attending the Chrism Mass in 2015, I was the deacon of that Mass by the grace of God, and deacon at the evening Mass of the Lord's Supper that evening at the seminary. What an amazing thing, the sacred priesthood, and to be able to put my life at the service of God, the service of His people, the Church, to be able to celebrate Mass, celebrate the sacraments, to be there for people in their time of need. That was the destiny that God planned for me. What does God have in your future? God bless you all.